To mention who many of the Obedients seem to think that you have a personal vendetta against Peter Obi and the Obedients. Do you have an issue with them?
I don't. I'm going to tell you what happened. I took a vow to destroy that movement because Peter Obi was a project of mine. Myself, two people actually, Senator Ben Moribuz and I. A former president had asked us to make sure that we promote him because he felt that he was a good candidate. And so I did my best. I spent my money to promote him. I was responsible for Peter Obi becoming the running mate to Waziri Atiku Abubakar in 2019. I've said this publicly. I've got the document. I'm a meticulous record keeper. Waziri Atiku Abubakar cannot deny it. Peter Obi cannot deny it. Peter Obi was lobbying me, sending me his resume. We did everything we did. I've not collected a dime from Peter Obi. Now, what happened is that Peter Obi left our party, the People's Democratic Party, without informing any of us who helped him. And that's okay. He should have done that. But he left the party just suddenly. And then, obviously, we couldn't go with him because he didn't tell us that he was leaving. Now, even if he told us, we wouldn't have gone with him. So we had our party and we had our candidates, and we were trying to build our party. And what happened is that Peter Obi's movement, Obedience, they started attacking me, threatening me, insulting me. Now, that was okay, but then they moved from myself to my family. I just had a daughter at that time. There were multiple death threats. They came to my house in the United Kingdom. They trailed my wife and I when we were jogging. They found out my jogging route, and then they would pursue me jogging and then threaten me. And so one day I just got very annoyed. I contacted Peter Obi. I told him this is what was happening. And I named a specific individual who is online. I knew that the person masquerades as a mixed race girl on X. And I told him, look, I know who the person is. You've got to speak with that person on the phone. Peter Obi put me on speakerphone, talked to somebody in the background, and then later came back to me. I said, look, he cannot condemn that person. That specific person, he cannot condemn that person, but he will issue a general statement, but he cannot condemn that person. So that means that Peter Obi knew who that person was. Anyway, the attacks continued, and I would contact Peter Obi, and I've got records of all of this. Peter Obi would not do anything. And so I took a decision one day. I said, well, if Peter Obi is like this, if he's not going to control this violent movement, this thuggish movement, this mob, this headless mob, then I am going to do my possible best with whatever considerable, a political machinery that I have to destroy that movement. And that's just a summary of what happened.
Would you care to mention who the person was that you said you had spoken to?
Well, I discussed with Peter Obi. I don't think it's right for me to come here and then begin to do that. I put it to Peter Obi. The thing about me is this: is that I don't. I'm not afraid of a confrontation, but when I want to do it, I will do it with you face to face and make sure that I give you an opportunity to put what is wrong right. And if you can do that, then the relationship is safe. But if you can't, well, then it goes awry. It goes awry. Sorry.
I think I understand with Reno, and I know the feeling that he's feeling. So the vow to dismantle the Obidient Movement and to discredit Peter Obi is not even born out of the fact that he discovered that Peter Obi is a scam, or that he discovered that the man wasn't who he is. It was because the man left the party and reduced the chances of Waziri Atiku Abubakar to have become president in 2023, and then he felt like he was going to do everything. What Reno, the serpent, did not mention here was that when Peter Obi left, he started to attack Peter Obi unprovoked. And so that was what led to whatever he got online. Right? I'm sure that if you say people were coming, the United Kingdom is a system that is built on with law. So if people were coming to harass you, you had the right to seek police protection and then take the matter up legally. Why were you not running? Because what Reno, the serpent, did not mention here was that when Peter Obi left the PDP, Reno became a problem, and he started to harass, bully Peter Obi unprovoked at any given opportunity. And so the problem was that he was not shocked, because for 8 years, a lot of you Jay-Z's, people that got interested in politics because your tribal person got involved some months ago, do not understand that Reno was declared himself Buhari tormentor for 8 years. From 2015 up until 2023, Reno tormented. It was on his bio on all his social media platforms. He harassed, bullied, insulted, abused the sitting president for several years. And because, of course, Buhari was let me not use what I'm supposed to use, was a clueless, there's a word that Rufai used in his book, where he said I have to forget, the accidental, a clueless accidental president. It was okay for him. Unfortunately, this same Reno is now complaining that what he did for livelihood for 8 years, people are doing it on him and he's bothered. And now, this is the reason why Reno is not being regarded or taken seriously in Bola Ahmed Tinubu's government. Because Reno's anger or Reno's attachment to Tinubu is not because he loves Tinubu or that he sees Tinubu as a solution to the problem. It's because he doesn't like Peter Obi. And Tinubu is a master strategist. You understand clearly that this one is only angry with Peter Obi. So remain where you want to be attacking Peter Obi. It's not because you love him. It's not because you see anything good. It's not that Reno sees that Tinubu has the solution to the problems. Whatever you see Reno doing to defend the Bola Ahmed Tinubu's government is just to ensure that Peter Obi doesn't have a chance. Because for him as a person, he has taken it as a personal vow to ensure that Peter Obi never grows to becoming who he's supposed to be in this country, who Obidient wants, and he will dismantle Obidient till they abandon Peter Obi. And that's his joy. And Tinubu has marked this. Are you getting the picture? That's very clear. And so, but unfortunately, he has done this now for several months and it's not working. Because you don't have any, and we are expecting you to roll out a lot of issues. Reveal as much. You handled Peter Obi, you handled the social media platform, you knew him up close and personal, at least you are aware of who he is. If there are issues Nigerians need to know, release it. Not coming to tell us that he did not build school. And the man has never said he built school. He said that there was no reason going to build school when there were over 1,000 schools that needed urgent attention. Peter Obi has a list of over 700. This is not campaign for Peter Obi. In his own defense, he had a list of over 700 schools that he renovated to talk like. He moved the education of Anambra State from being 27, 28 to being first in the state, in the country. He helped in security. So the man has not tried. He didn't say he came to do all the millions of things. He was just focused on ensuring that livelihood was easy for people, education and health sectors were good, and then he saved up the rest of the next government to do whatever they think they want to do, and then he moved on. So your anger is that the man left and the man made Waziri Adamawa's chances of becoming president. And I say this continually, with all due respect, Abraham, Moses, Jacob, Esau, Isaac, Matthew, Paul and Peter on the ticket for 2023, Tinubu will still have read their election because he had INEC already in his pocket. And the NNPC supplied the dollars. So what are you supposed to do? Go and look at God in the Mayfield. If a city, I know Buhari is clueless, but if a city president says he doesn't want you, there's nothing you can do. But then Tinubu had all of his arsenals, he built it. And I can never forget Rotimi Amici saying after the elections that while all of them were, in 2015, were jostling for all of these juicy ministries, Bola Ahmed Tinubu said, give me INEC. The current INEC chairman is a nominee from Bola Ahmed Tinubu. But you expecting a man that have played the game of draft and chairs all of these years waiting for presidency, we expect him to lose after all of this? It's not Atiku that dabble into that strategy. The man planned it to get himself to power. And so you're only angry for Peter Obi for nothing. You're only angry for nothing. Your anger is not justifiable. And then you are vowed to dismantle a full movement because you feel they didn't give you a chance to have become spokesman to Atiku Abubakar in the presidency. Oh yeah, now spokesman to Tinubu now, chop now. You still cannot rest. Till today, 2 years after elections, you are still crying. Peter Obi is still your problem. And then you are advertising audio development that Tinubu is doing. Shameless buffoon.